Alright people, what's up everyone? Welcome to another video, and I just got back from seeing Uncharted, the movie of course, after years and years of waiting. It's here. Damn, it's been so long. Mark Wahlberg was supposed to play Nathan Drake, and now he's playing Sully. That's how long it's been. Now he's Sully. What? He's Sully. So, is it a good adaptation? Is it a good video game movie? Is Tom Holland the best Nathan Drake? Nope. No. Nope. Is Mark Wahlberg Sully? Nope. No. You can put a mustache on as much as you want. No. But is it a fun movie? For the most part, yes. And that's not also to say that the movie gets Uncharted completely wrong. Because for the most part, if you look at it, if you just look at Uncharted for what it is in the most generic way possible. I mean, this movie does everything. They go and look for a treasure. They find clues. Nathan solves a puzzle. There's some action, some hand-to-hand fights. There's some quips. There's some humor here and there. Eventually, Sully gets a mustache. So there's Uncharted stuff here in the most generic way possible. Like if you just wrote down like little like notes of what an Uncharted game is, and I mean like very brief notes, but the feeling of Uncharted is not there, and the characters do not feel like Nathan Drake, Sully, Victor Sullivan, Chloe Fraser. Well, that's it. That's the only three characters that are in the game that are in this. Everybody else is made up. And they don't feel like the characters at all. Are they bad characters? No, but they're not the characters from the movie or from the video game. They are the characters from the movie. That is true. I will say that. But it's just one of those things where I'm just like, it doesn't feel like Uncharted, besides for the few key moments here where they play the theme or they do something. I don't want to spoil. I'll talk about it later. But he gets his little belt things or so. He's wearing the shirt. He's climbing something with his fingertips. Like he's using the fingertips to hold his strength or whatever. Like that. These are just little moments, and it's not enough to make it feel like an Uncharted movie. At the end of the movie where it says Uncharted, I'm like, it's like, I don't know. It's not bad. There's a lot of nice little locales. There's no supernatural element, which I thought was kind of annoying. I was hoping they'd put that in there, but because the first three Uncharted games had that. 4, I can't remember if 4 had that, honestly. Like, towards the end of that game, I was getting a little like, eh. But there's it's not the best like written movie at all. Too, there's a lot of like generic dialogue. But there's some good moments between the characters. Like, I actually really like Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg in it, and their chemistry is pretty good. The girl that plays Chloe Fraser, Sophia Ali, I think that's her name. She's alright. She actually, honestly, she's the one that felt the least like her character. And in the trailers, I was like, she looks like she might be a good Chloe Fraser, and she's not bad in the movie. I'm not saying she is. It just doesn't feel like her. Like, Chloe was really, like, cool, and Chloe and Nate had like a really fun dynamic. And there's not really that. It's just like she's kind of like the love interest, kind of. And there's a lot of back and forth betrayals here and there. Like, oh, Sully betrays him, and then he betrays him, and like a bunch of that. So I guess there's some of that too. I don't know. It's just like her character was like the weakest, I think, where like she doesn't have much to do. The villains are actually, when it comes to the characters that are from the games that are in the movie, she's the weakest of the three. But when it comes to actual weakest character, it's both villains in this movie. Antonio Banderas and Tatiana something, I forgot. She's like the heavy. And yeah, they're both extremely weak. And I love Antonio Banderas, and I thought Tatiana, it starts with them. I thought she was good, but it's just like she's so generic and just kind of like a hard ass. She just kind of like stands there, look tough. She'll say like something smarmy here and there, but for the most part, she's kind of bland. And same thing with Antonio Banderas. There's like one moment where Antonio Banderas gets to like actually like act a little bit, and it doesn't last very long, as to say. I really wanted to love it. I really did. Like when it started, I'm like, all right, they're doing the plane sequence. They immediately start off with the plane sequence, and they go 15 years back, and they're doing some Uncharted 4 stuff. And I'm like, all right, yeah. With the flashback, with the the boarding school and stuff like, or not boarding school, with the nuns, whatever. Yeah, I liked some of that stuff. The dialogue's not the best, but I like that they really took stuff from the games like that, but it just, again, didn't have the same vibe. The action was okay. I thought it was well filmed for the most part. Again, some of the comedy actually did work. I actually thought the humor-wise it was pretty good. I thought the whole last 15 minutes, the whole ship sequence, I thought was really fun. I really liked that. It was goofy as shit, and probably the goofiest it got in the movie, which made it feel the most like Uncharted. And I'm actually kind of upset that we didn't have a scene like that in an Uncharted game, because with those two ships like colliding with each other, jumping back and forth, it would have been actually really fun. Hey, kudos to Robin Flesher and everybody that wrote it and stuff. Like, hey, that was a cool Uncharted-like sequence, so I'll give it that. So, really, like, the movie itself, I would say is like 25% feels like Uncharted. The characters feel like, at the most, 10% like Uncharted. Like, Tom Holland at times kind of embodies Nolan North's version of Nathan Drake just a little bit, just the way he walks and stuff, and like he goes, "Oh crap," or "No, no, no, no," like he does that thing where he just talks constantly, even when he's about to fail or die. That stuff is in there. It doesn't have the overall vibe. I know I'm shaking the camera a lot, which is really disappointing because I was hoping they would have that, and they just didn't show it well in the trailer. Right now, I think the movie has like a 47% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's probably closer to around a 57%. I personally would probably give it around a 6 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's a fresh movie, though. Like, 6 out of 10, leaning more towards the negative, because I feel like just kind of placing Uncharted in there when it's like, I don't know, like the Sonic movie did it pretty well, telling a new story, but still having Sonic and still making it feel like a Sonic thing, It's just, I don't know, just... It's not the gold standard when it comes to video game movies, video game adaptations. I even think the Tomb Raider movie, not better, but felt more like that Tomb Raider game it was basing itself on, more so than this feels like Uncharted, that one was like closer, like 40-50% feels like Tomb Raider, and this feels like around 25-30% feels like Uncharted. You know what I mean? I'm doing math. Again, not bad. Not a bad movie. 6, maybe even a 6.5 out of 10, because I did like Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland together. I just thought the movie does slow down a lot. There's a lot of just like figuring out the next clue, and there's a lot of really slow stuff, very predictable stuff, and it's just like it gets bogged down. The movie itself is actually not too long. It's probably, like, if you don't count the credits, an hour and 45 minutes long, but I still think it could have been trimmed down to maybe like a nice 90 minutes, because the characters don't really have a ton of time to really develop and really show their bond. That's getting, they could have edited some of that puzzle solving stuff out, maybe even cut a whole one out, because some of them just like, overall, it's just a typical, Indiana Jones style, like, we have to find the treasure before the bad guys. That's Uncharted, but that's also Indiana Jones, and that's Tomb Raider. That's a lot of these type of movies. I would highly recommend, if you've never played the video games, play the video games. Like, if you're a gamer, you just never played them, play the video games. Maybe just play those, but if you never played them and you don't have any interest in playing them, but you think the movie looks okay, it's a fun time. It's definitely not gonna, at least I assume it ain't gonna piss you off. But anyway, that's it. Just real quick, I want to talk about a spoiler, just real quick, okay? Real quick, so go away if you don't want spoilers. Alright, just real quick. They finally used the Uncharted theme, which I mentioned earlier, but I was really worried that they weren't going to use it throughout the entire movie. And then they do use it. The first time they use it, I thought it was great. I really love this. This actually almost gave the movie like an extra like half point for me. Nate and Chloe wash up on a beach and just laying there while the music's playing, the freaking theme is playing. Our boy Nolan North, of course, who played Nathan Drake in the games, is just there chilling, and there's like almost hardly anybody in my theater. To be fair, it was like 4 p.m. when I went to go see it on a Thursday, so there was more people than I actually thought would be there. There was probably like maybe 10 other people, and even just that limited crowd, you could hear people go, "Oh, it's Nathan Drake. That's the actual Nate, the real one. The real, not that fucker, the real one, not Spider-Man." He does like his Spider-Man pose like 10 times in this movie. I swear to fucking God. I get it, he's played him like, what, 6 times at this point? He's probably fucking stuck in that mode. He wakes up in bed, fucking jumps out of bed and fucking lands in that pose. But I thought that was great. I love that cameo, actually. It's funny, today was like the day of cameos. You had the cameo in Peacemaker, won't spoil it. And you had this cameo, which I thought was great. Is there going to be any cameos in Vox Machina? I guess we'll see. Anyway, so that's it. That's really all I want to talk about. Just I'd say real quick, but this is almost 10-minute video. It's probably my longest one of these like camera phone reviews. I'm sorry for the shaky cam, but hopefully you're just kind of listening and not watching. It's just my stupid face anyway. So there you go. I'm holding the phone. Yo, what's up? How you doing? Lighting's a little bit better here. Anyway, that's it. That's all I just want to talk about. It's a fun movie. So again, like 6.5. I don't really give scores anymore, but I recommend it if you've never played the game. And if you've played the game and you're okay with it not being a complete faithful adaptation, but you want to see some cool Easter eggs and stuff like that. There are some cool Easter eggs. There's one that I thought was really fun. Then I recommend it. Go ahead. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and Sully does get his mustache at the end. Everybody was correct when they showed that in the last trailer. Sully gets his mustache at the end. Yeah, that was literally one of the last scenes in the movie. Actually, it's not even the last scene. It's the post-credit scene. So, which everybody predicted. So, big surprise. Anyway, that's it. Bye.